And welcome back, everyone. Glad you could join me today. And as I mentioned in the last couple of videos, I've got one more order to open for you out of the 3 orders that I made a couple of weeks ago. And I will get to that in just a moment. First, I've got a viewer top 10 for you. Remember last time we had Ben submitted his top 10. And this time I have Ben's wife, Mo, which I presume is short for Maureen. If it's not, Ben, please tell me. So we'll just get right into it. First, and I'm not even really sure if this is her order from 10 to 1 or 1 to 10, but these are the 10 anyways. The first one is this one from Poland, a nice dinosaur stamp picturing an Edaphosaurus. This is Poland number 1307 from 1965. As you may recall, Ben picked up a couple of albums of worldwide stamps that he and his wife had been going through, and they've been sorting them and picking out their favorites. And Mo has developed an affinity for the Eastern European mid-century stamps from the communist era. So Poland fits that bill. The next one also is from Bulgaria, Scott number 1020 from 1958, showing some onions. And then next comes another one from Poland. It's a reproduction of Leonardo da Vinci's Lady with an Ermine. A nice engraved stamp there. And next, if we're counting down, this will be number 7 from Bulgaria. Some mushrooms. Mushrooms are a fairly popular topical. At least postal administrations seem to think so, because there's a lot of mushrooms on stamps. And then number 6 comes from Afghanistan, and it shows, oddly enough, an Afghan hound. Number 5 comes from Central African Republic, and it's a postage due stamp picturing a scarab beetle. Next up, we have from IFNI, a squirrel on a tree branch. IFNI, this is Scott number B23, a charity or semi-postal stamp issued for the benefit of children's welfare from 1955. And IFNI, if you're not aware, is was a Spanish territory, an enclave within the country of Morocco. Enclave meaning that it's a territory that's completely surrounded by another country. However, in 1969, Spain returned IFNI back to Morocco. Number 3 comes another Bulgaria, and this one features a hedgehog doing his thing on a snake. And then number 2 comes from Poland again, and this one depicts a poodle. Last one, we go back to Bulgaria, and this one depicts a scene from a fairy tale called The Golden Apple, and the creature is a Hala or Allah, and the family, a woman with her 3 sons, they owned a tree that once a year grew one golden apple, but before they could pick it, this Allah or Allah came down and would snatch it up and take it away. And then the last stamp, that's 10 stamps now for Mo, but there's one bonus stamp. This is one that they both chose as their couple's favorite, because this one is from the French Antarctic Territory, featuring a couple of rockhopper penguins. And this is their joint number 1 because it reminds them of them. I don't know which one's Ben or which one's Mo. All right, so that was Mo's top 10 stamps. And thank you very much for submitting those. So now, like I said, I have an order to open up for you. And this one consists of, let's see, and the Oscar for Best Actor in a Supporting Role. Sorry. Let's see, this is four stamps, small order. Well, I'm not sure what happened. I lost the camera for a while and for a few seconds, and I don't know where it cut off. So, like I said, I got this order open now, and what we have here are, well, let me take you over to the table. So this order consisted of these four stamps, which are coil stamps, as you'll no doubt recognize by the two straight edges. But these are special coil stamps. If you look at the center, where are we? You'll notice the center perforations have a line of ink running through them. These were printed on the Stickney rotary press, which is a drum, a rotary drum press that has two plates, two thin plates that are wrapped around it, and then where the two plates join at each end, the ink would tend to gather in the joint, in the crack, and so you would wind up with each rotation of the drum, you'd get two pair that have the joint line inked onto the stamp. And these are called joint line pairs. And they do command a premium over regular coil pairs without the joint line. And joint lines are a major collectible area for me. And I've got some album pages printed up for them, and I've got my checklist here that runs one, two, three, just over 3 pages. So the Stickney rotary press was introduced in 1914, and the first coil stamps were made then. And it was in use until, 1969, I believe. But by then, other rotary press designs had been developed. There was the Huck press, and then the Cottrell press. And so you can find joint line pairs for several more decades after the decommissioning of the Stickney rotary press, and they go up to 1990. Actually, the last year that you'll find a joint line pair is 1990, and I believe that's the $1 seaplane stamp in the Transportation Coil series. Anyway, so here's a look at my checklist that I made for it, starting with Scott number 448. That's the third series that was printed by the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. And the V means that it's a vertical coil, meaning that it has horizontal perforations and that the pair will, sit vertically. The blank spaces are horizontal. No need to stick an H in there. If it's not a V, it's an H. And then I just have the yellow color just to better differentiate the different series. From the third Bureau series, we go on to the 1922 fourth Bureau issue. And there was 14 coils there. There were 17 available from the third Bureau issue, 14 for the fourth Bureau issue. After that came the presidential series, where it went through all of the presidents with the denomination corresponding to the number of the presidency. So John Tyler, there was the 10th president. Martha Washington was the 1.5th president. Just kidding. And then after that came the Liberty series, which is various people and icons pertaining, just symbolic of liberty. And then we get to a few airmail coil stamps. And they, first one showed up in airmail in 1948. And the last airmail coil stamp was from 1973. And then there's some back of the book items, some revenue stamps or revenue. There's cotton order stamp, food stamp, playing cards, revenue stamp, coil test stamp, which you'll see in just a moment, and some war savings stamps. You could have a post office savings account back in the day. So let's get these out of the way. And I'll open up my stock book to the stock that I have right now. That's Germany. Back up. All right, so here are my joint line pairs. And you notice there's no identifying tags on them. I have them all in order as they're listed on here. And the check marks show the ones that I have. All these that are lined through, those were just my bad. I included some stamps that were not coil stamps. So anyways, so this the first one, the vertical, that's a fairly early one, number 486 from the third Bureau issue. And then these are from the fourth Bureau issue. And then number one, the 1 cent there, that's the start of the presidential series. You see the 1 cent George, 1.5 cent Martha Washington, and John Adams, Thomas Jefferson. They stuck another non-presidential one in there, the 4.5 cent White House stamp. And then a few airmail joint lines I got. That 6 cent airmail, that's will be due for an upgrade because it's so far off center to the left. Which brings up one of the challenges in joint line coil collecting is that if you're looking for the top condition and centering, coil stamps as a general rule they tend to vary a lot in the centering. You have to hunt them down with good centering. As this 6 cent shows, it can go from very thin margins on the left, and the 5 cents is not bad. That's a pretty good one. So then here's the 7 cent one. That shows pretty good centering, left and right. And top to bottom isn't bad either. It's just a little bit narrower at the top. So again, which brings up one of the challenges. If you're looking for the finest stamps, you're looking for centering left and right of the margins and within the top and bottom perfs. I like to find the ones that have the joint line with a nice bisect right down the middle of the perf lines. As you can see here, the 8 cent stamp is a little bit off. Here's one of the test coils. That's not quite bisecting either, but otherwise it's pretty good centering for a coil stamp. This one is okay. And then here are the transportation coils. Now by this time the coil stamps are the most popular way to collect these are in strips of 5 with the plate number showing on the center stamp. And since the plate number is on the first stamp of the plate, it will also show up right next to the joint line right there. So on the coil strips of 5, look for the joint line and the plate number on the same. Here's another one, plate number and the joint line. And then here are some of the album pages I made for it. I don't have them all printed out yet or even created. I've got 5 pages that takes me up through the presidential series. And here's a good look at what those pages look like. The last page I've gotten printed so far, the presidential series. And this is the whole series on one page. That's not the whole series of presidents because the coils, they only printed 14 stamps in coil format. All right, so right now I'm going to take a break and put some cut some mounts and stick them on the page and stick the stamps in there, and I'll give you a look at what it looks like when the stamps are mounted in it. All right, so I've got all the mounts attached to the page now, and now I'll go ahead and mount those and be right back with you. And here's a completed page. That is as much as I can complete right now. And you'll notice some of these, the top flap sticks up. So that's where my Howard glue pen comes in. Just stick a little dot of solvent on each corner and it'll just stick it down right nicely. So one problem I did have though, at the end, I don't know how I can measure and test and measure again, and I still come up with a mount that's too short. Didn't leave enough margin at the top, you dummy. So I'll rip those off the page and cut new ones. So that's a look at how my joint line pair collection is coming along. Hope you enjoyed that look. And if you're looking for a particular area to not really specialize, but if you like a neat little side collection, I would suggest joint line pairs to you. I told you they command a premium over regular coil stamps, but out of that order I showed you with the 4 stamps, 2 of them were less than 50 cents, 46 cents, 47 cents each. Another pair was just 94 cents. So most of them are pretty cheap. It's when you get back into the 30s, 40s, such that they get up into the multi-dollar range. But it's a fun little sideline for your collection. I recommend it. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining me. And next time we'll see what I have next time. Until then, this is Ted the Talking Stamp Collector wishing you all happy stamping.